in the management education, there are different approaches. The first approach what we follow is called as the participant-centered learning. Right? The whole idea is that the learning, the key element is the participant or the student. So how that learning should be around that student. And to do that, we follow a case study method in which we don't talk about the imaginary cases, we talk about the real life cases. So somebody is facing a challenge, capturing into a case, bring it to the classroom, throw it to the student that this is the challenge, this is the data, this is the limitations. How would you come up with that? So compelling student to think out of the box, come up with a solution, and when they do that repeatedly, regularly with hundreds of case studies,
Yes.
the whole idea is that what we are trying to develop is that how do you approach to a problem?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast by IMA Indore Management Association. We are hosting this podcast on the event of first HR conclave being held in Indore Hotel Park. Today, we are honored to be joined by Sir Amitabh Deo Kodwani. He's the professor OB and HRM at IIM Indore. We are fortunate to have him here today with us. Sir, welcome to the
Thank you very much.
I'm C. Rupal Mahta. And on behalf of IMA, we would first start with how did you enter into this professorship and how was your journey till now?
Probably it's too long. Cut it short. Want to be in academics, but good. My professors were very helpful.
Okay.
And I remember one of my professor, he forced me, no, you must go to industry, see the world. When you see the world, then only you can take that world into the classroom. So practically, my professors forced me to go to a corporate world to see that life.
Okay.
So I joined corporate, lived that life for 7 years, came back to academics, and the whole academic journey then started.
And so when you joined the corporate, were you with the HR?
Yes, throughout. I was into the HR domain only. So I started my journey from Indore.
Okay.
And after almost some 25 years, came back to Indore again.
So basically, with your journey, I understand that yes, practical knowledge and understanding the practicality of the work definitely helps in working and even in teaching. Is it so?
True, very true, very true. See, the whole idea of teaching these days is that, either I can take the students to the industry or I can bring that corporate to the class.
Wow.
So
Okay.
that's the whole journey we have to go through.
Even in fact in CA, we have this very hardcore internship which we have to go through. And even I am of the view that it definitely helps, shape a person doing the practical things. These days there are many courses which are being, designed around these only, where the courses are like that they are given on the, they are being given the jobs which they have to do while being studying. So does IIM inculcate these things? Do you also have this in?
Very true. See, what you said, absolutely, I agree with that. If you look at, the best course I see that is a medicine, wherein, you learn something in the classroom with the professor, then go to the operation theater, see that happening or probably practice it happening, come back to the classroom.
Right.
So the connect between the classroom and the real world is fantastic. Now, to do that real world connect in the management education, there are different approaches. The first approach what we follow is called as the participant-centered learning. Right? The whole idea is that the learning, the key element is the participant or the student. So how that learning should be around that student. And to do that, we follow a case study method in which we don't talk about the imaginary cases, we talk about the real life cases. So somebody is facing a challenge, capturing into a case, bring it to the classroom, throw it to the student that this is the challenge, this is the data, this is the limitations. How would you come up with that? So compelling student to think out of the box, come up with a solution, and when they do that repeatedly, regularly with hundreds of case studies,
Yes.
the whole idea is that what we are trying to develop is that how do you approach to a problem?
Right. How do you actually perform in the real life you're gonna perform?
True.
Very nice. So do you think listening to the people or reading the books really helps, or is it doing it helps? Because there's always said that आप एक ही चीज मतलब आप एक ही लाइफ में कितनी चीज कर सकते हो, rather than that आप एक बुक पढ़ो तो आप 1000 लोगों के experiences से सीखोगे. So it's a good mixture of reading and doing.
True. See, the whole idea is that I can learn from my own mistakes by doing it.
Right.
I can learn from others' experiences. Right.
Yes.
So when I'm saying others' experiences, others' research paper, others' books, others' articles, other stories, I can learn even from them. So it has to have a mix of both. I can't wait every problem to come to me, face it, and then only learn.
Right. So, now going theory wise, what do you think in HR is the most important aspect of while studying? What is that one thing which should not be missed or dealt with very deeply?
I think the most important element which is relevant, it was relevant, it is relevant, is called as the human element. I
Right.
am dealing with a human being. I'm not dealing with a robot. Dealing with a human being is such a tedious task. For example, look at people stay together after knowing each other for long, getting into an agreement of marriage, then they get separated because they don't gel with each other. So
Right.
after knowing for so long, still they can't gel with each other. How do I know people in such a short span of time? And
Mm.
why it is required? Because I need to manage people.
Yeah.
So understanding and managing is the most toughest challenge. It was and it is. In fact, the challenge has slightly become more advanced now,
Okay.
because we are dealing with every time a new generation,
Right.
right? And new generation comes up with their own world. They have learned in their own way.
Right.
They have faced the kind of challenging situations which we didn't face in our lifetime.
Right.
So I see that the dealing with this new generation is the most interesting and challenging task which we need to learn, understand, and apply.
Wow. So as you told that this human psychology is like one of the most important aspect, and yes, I definitely agree. So this human psychology has changed over generations. Like now you've been into this teaching side from like past 25 years. So do you see changes? Like was the psychology very different? Like 20 years before or 15 years before, and what the kids are doing today?
Oh, it's a drastic change. For example, I remember, see, whenever you join a job, you have a boss.
Yeah.
Whenever you have a boss, you may have some agreements, some disagreements. Sometimes boss is happy with you, sometimes boss is unhappy with you, right? Boss also has a different challenges. No, the moment sometimes the boss is showcasing its unhappiness or dissatisfaction, we used to take it in a very cool spirit, right? Because we know that in other time the boss is also loving me or caring me.
Hmm.
Never used to react on one such short incidents. And the idea was you have to be with the job for a long period of time, you continue, contribute, and at the same time, if you want to change also, look for a job better than what existing one, and then you change. That's a whole philosophy we used to follow.
Right.
I often say that the painful point while changing the job with my generation people was actually that you go to the boss and say that, hey boss, I'm leaving,
Yeah.
and happily let me go, was the most painful thing, because you are emotionally connect with someone, you are working with someone. I see, when I talk to the managers these days, I see a big challenge. What they share is that the temperament issue.
Yes.
Probably the new generation, they value kind of experience than the number of years of experience. So even if they are happy with the kind of experience they have got in 1 year, they would like to move on, right? They don't see it's a 1 year, they see it's a richness of the experience.
Right.
We used to see the numbers of years of experience. So there's a drastic change in the thought process. Also, at times they want, I often get this kind of a response that, the moment you tell anything to the new generation, they say that, okay, I'm leaving. I may not have the job, but I'm leaving, right? I don't want to listen anything.
Right.
Probably, we need to understand. Just passing on the buck or blame to the new generation would not be right. We need to understand that things have changed, right? The way probably I and my father had a gap or a distance, right? That is no more there. Now look at how we are, dealing with our kids.
Right. How the kids are being
Absolutely.
bring.
How much kids feel authority when they talk to us.
Right.
When my daughter said that, why you didn't had the lunch so far, I never used to think of saying this to my father.
Right.
So I'm saying, look, we are now a different, relationship which keeps on changing from generation to generation. Why not accepting the same fact at the workplace as well?
Right. So somehow, basically, it's like how the generations, like how even we have passed it on to our kids, and that's why we are seeing that in the business place.
Sure.
So the attrition rate have gone up like crazy. People actually, look as organizations skipping in every 1.5 year or 2 years, and they keep on switching. So this is a very big challenge, for the employer to keep them in the organization. Do you suggest few things how an employer can retain an employee?
I think the connect with the person as a whole,
Okay.
not person as a entity, a single entity who is coming to work.
Right.
A person, when I'm saying a person has a full family.
Hmm.
How organizations are able to connect with the entire family. I often remember that, or I would say that this is the best thing when I go back to home and say that, hey, I'm leaving this company, and my family said that, why? Why are you leaving? This is a good company to work for.
Right.
Are we able to connect so strong bond with the entire family? Right?
Okay.
Why? Because the moment there is a push from the family, a person will not think of leaving so early. That's number one.
Right.
Number two, I think it's not that the high attrition every company is facing. I would be very happy and proudly I'm saying that I have seen many companies with whom I have done a lot of case writing. I've seen Indian companies, but low salaries they are paying, still they don't have attrition problem. What kind of relationship you are able to build with the employee. I see the whole transition or the problem lies that the relationship between the manager and the subordinate or the employer and the employee, which was highly relational in nature, is becoming pure transactional in nature. In transactional relationship, everything is looked at upon what am I getting and what am I doing.
Right.
I think we have to come out of that.
We have to come out of that monetary.
Absolutely. Just materialistic thing definitely may improve performance to some extent. How am I able to build a long lasting relationship with the person? That's why often people say that, people are not leaving companies, they're leaving bosses.
Right. And it's the culture and the environment they want to stick upon.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It was very insightful, this discussion. Next, I would like to ask you, Amitabh sir, that should an organization, go for, the trainings and, keep on upskilling their employees. So, should this be, inculcated in every company's culture who wants to, go ahead and excel in the things?
True, very true. You absolutely rightly pointed out. If you look at, why people are leaving, it's not the salary number one factor, right? People look at that kind of a connect, learning and growth opportunities within the organization.
Right.
If you are getting good learning opportunities, you keep on updating yourself and making more worth for the company and the society. I don't think, people would be freely leaving so fast. I remember one very interesting quote somebody kept on his table.
Okay.
If you think training is expensive, right?
Huh.
Try not to train and live with an obsolete person.
Right.
So you have to provide opportunity for learning because things are changing so fast. If I don't train them, I'm continuing with the obsolete, tools, technologies and
assets.
skills.
Right.
So I need to do that, and that would be the most important point to retain people.
Wow. Thank you for this very insightful knowledge, Amitabh sir. It was great to have you on the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It was nice meeting you.